What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 43rd episode of the Boundless Business Podcast. As always, it is the amazing Justine, Larissa, and the somewhat cool guy, Nico. Guys, how's it going? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Happy
Happy
Monday.
Monday before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and if you're listening after Thanksgiving, hope you had a great Thanksgiving and Black Friday. Hopefully you didn't spend too much. I already know I'm planning to spend way too much. So don't want to comment too much on that. But Justine, what's going on? What are we talking about today?
Today, we're talking all about email campaigns because last week we talked about ad campaigns and how you can use the data from our Pixel to do that. So I kind of wanted to shift that into email this week. So let's start off with like setting goals for using the data that you have and kind of starting there.
Yeah, absolutely. So the biggest thing is like, especially with our technology, right? Like we're able to find first names, last names, email, and then like retargeting information on ad platforms, right? So we're talking email specifically, but what I want you to really understand what this is, especially if you've run ad campaigns in the past, right? We are getting contact information, both with hash data as well as email addresses, to real people. And I think sometimes with email marketing, we forget that this is not just a number in Excel or CSV or whatever. This is a real person at the end of the screen. So with that being said, when we go and communicate with them, we want to get somewhat straight to the point and have one call to action. So you have this person, they're on your site, right? Most people that are on websites are good indicators that they are interested in the product or service or thing that is there, right? From here, with that context, we can actually create amazing copy, in this case for emails, that resonates with that person. For instance, let's say that you are a solar company and a person is on the Arizona landing page for your newest solar-based product or incentive or whatever. You have context, an individual looking at solar, right? And probably something specific to what you offer, maybe that you install for free, there's a warranty on it, whatever that means. You can then contact that individual with a very specific and somewhat personalized at scale message. So you can say something like, hey, first name, this is John from Solar Pros amazingness.com. All new solar switchers or people who are, call out who they identify as, right? All new people interested in solar, all new homeowners looking for solar have this incentive before the end of the year. You can reference something that they were looking at and then end with, is this something that sounds interesting to you? Would this be of value to you? Can I send you more info? So what did I do here? I identified who I am. I called out something that is unique to that person, how they identify. Homeowners identify different than renters, and specifically what they were looking at. In this case, maybe solar. Then I gave them a very direct question, right? This is what we're doing. Is this of interest? We only want them to say yes or no, especially with this type of information. Maybe they were just randomly scrolling and they clicked the link and they went to your site. That's okay. That happens. Maybe they're really looking for a solution and they already found one. Let's just call it out. Are you interested? Yes or no? If they say no, great, remove them. If yes, then you can actually start working that individual. Do we have any questions so far? Because I feel like a lot of people see email addresses and they send out this like long email and it's full of links and a ton of things that we talk about not to do in the initial cold outreach. And they forget that there's a real person at the end that's getting this email.
Just like maybe how it all fits into the bigger strategy, maybe in B2C like context, like we've already started with.
Yeah. So for the B2C world, right? What does this mean? Most companies, if you've been around for at least a year, you have somewhat of an idea of what a value, a email subscriber has, right? So whether you use Klaviyo, other platforms like that, it's pretty easy to see that, for every 100 people that I email, one of them buys product A or service A, or maybe it's every 1,000, and maybe they buy twice. So let's say that every email subscriber will buy your product twice and the product costs $50. This means that each email subscriber is worth $100 to you. knowing that if, let's say your profits are, I don't know, $20, if you can get an email subscriber for $5, right? And they buy twice at the 100, you'll be making $15 profit from that individual, right? So from there, if we just take the business sense, if we get this information, let's say that you're on one of our lower ticket items and it comes out to be like 50 cents per subscriber or something like that. Well, all you have to do is for every 100 subscribers, get one to subscribe and you make $15. So check my math here. Sometimes it's just so much confidence and I notice afterwards I'm like, I'm wrong. So I think I'm right here, but I could be wrong. It's okay. We don't know.
Wait, what were the numbers you said again? $15.
So the numbers were so the LTV is basically $100.
LTV is 100.
And let's say that we want to spend $5 to acquire an email subscriber.
$5 per email subscriber.
$5 per email subscriber, yes. Oh,
Okay.
my math is wrong. There you go.
Okay.
And we're on one of our lower ticket products or tiers, and each contact costs you 50 cents. That means you have to, for every 10 subscribers, get one, or 10 emails, you have to get one to subscribe. Then it's pretty easy to see, like, are my campaigns doing well? Yes. How well? Or no? How bad? Can we fix that? So that's how you need to look for a B2C world, right? If you know the value of your email subscriber, then just walk backwards to see how much it's going to actually take to acquire the individual and get them to be added into your list. Now, B2B, it's a little different, right? Typically, you have a high service or high product, usually costs more than $2-3 grand, that the average consumer just doesn't spend willy-nilly unless buy like a laptop or something like that. But even then, there's all a thought process that goes into that. So with that being said, reverse engineering numbers again, right? You get 1,000 emails and you get 10 of them to book a call and one closes. Then if you want to close 10 deals, you just have to 10x everything, right? So there's different ways of thinking about it from a B2B and B2C perspective. But the whole thing is like, this person was looking at this product or service at this time, and then you can walk backwards on what words you say to get them interested.
Does this like help with your email domains being like not being blacklisted as frequently because you're not reaching out to just a ton of people who don't fit your target audience and stuff like that? Like, how much does that?
Yeah, how much does it impact? It's a good question. So we still don't recommend you doing this from your main domain. Still get subdomains. Don't send any more than 50 to 100. I still recommend closer to 40
A day, 50 to 100 a day,
Yes, a
to
day.
clarify.
And definitely clean the lists like anything else. People change emails or move companies.
Yeah, when we say clean the lists, we mean run it through a third-party program that will help identify potential bounced emails. That way you don't have a ton of bounces building up on the emails that you're sending. You can weed those people out before you send anything.
Yeah. For context, I had a friend that I was chatting with this morning, and he had a list from April, right? It is currently November, right? He had, I think, 3,000 people on that email. Only 27% of those emails were now valid.
Things change very quickly.
It's crazy, right? So cleaning the list, making sure that you remove any bad emails that don't work, and then sending out 40, 50 a day will help you with that. Will help you actually keep the domains healthy, still get responses, clicks, and you can then measure that, right? So every tool has some type of measuring capability, so you can see how many people click the link and then how many of those led to a sale or a meeting booked.
Are there any other tips that we have for having successful email campaigns?
This is something that I struggle with, which is test, but have enough data to make informed decisions. So my gut is, oh, this is working really well, we should go into it. Well, maybe for like the first 10 or 15 or 100 emails, but you need actual data to support this. This is like any other marketing campaign where even if you have a gut feeling, test it and then have enough data to back it up. And this is something that I struggle with, and Larissa has been really good at saying, okay, listen, we need enough data to make sure that this actually works. And this isn't just a feeling. There's like science behind it, you know? There's, I don't know if you have any other comments on like how to make a successful email campaign.
So there are a couple things that are important to note, right? When you first start out your email campaign, focus on top level metrics. That can be really helpful, where if you're like, oh, I'm not getting anything, well, think like, where do you start? First thing is, how do you increase your open rates? For that, you're going to want to look at like, how are your email, like how's your email domain health? How many are you sending? Who are you sending them to? What's your subject line? What's the like first sentence in your email? Those are all the things that have a really important impact on your open rates. Because, and go into your own inbox and look at the preview that you can see in your own inbox of an email address. That is really important. You need to make sure all your domains are warmed up and continue warming, and you have a way to monitor that domain health. All those things will have a really big impact on that first metric, on your open rates. Next thing you want to focus on is reply rate. How do you get more people to respond? Once you have really good open rates, how do you get more people to respond to you? Well, that's probably going to come down to your messaging. You want to play around with your call to action with, and it can still come back to targeting. Make sure that everything's customized to the right target and the right person. But then once you start getting responses, then you want to focus on, okay, I'm getting responses. How do I get positive responses? And that's where kind of you want to take it one step at a time. I know it's really hard to start and be like, oh, I'm not getting anything. Email sucks. I hate it, blah, blah, blah. But realistically, that's not the approach to take. You want to take it one baby step at a time, figure out how to improve. Again, top line, get more people to open it. Second, you're want to focus on how to get more people to respond. Third, you want to get more people on how to respond more positively towards whatever goal it is that you have for them to accomplish, whether that's maybe booking a call or signing up for a demo or joining a newsletter list or something like that. How do you get more people towards that specific goal? And then you want to make sure you're iterating on that and looking at that data every single week to see, has anything happened? Has anything negative happened? Are you paying attention to things like holidays have a really big impact? I'm not opening my email on Thanksgiving. Don't send me one. I'm not going to open it. Like things like that are just important pieces to keep in mind in terms of running successful email campaigns.
Yeah, the biggest thing is like, we have a ton of content about email. So I think this one's really good, specifically focused on like Pixel. But I mean, there's so many rules and best practices and stuff that we've probably like half a dozen videos up to this point about email. So don't want to beat a dead horse if we already have content around that. But yeah, if you have any questions, you got getboundlessmedia.com. Boundless Media is our website, our socials, any place that we could be helpful. Let us know, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Have such a beautiful rest of your day, and that's it. Peace.